Hello, Internet. This is Geeks with a vlog. That's long overdue. Now, if you're noticing behind me, the background changed, and this is no blue screen or anything like that. And what's up with that? Well, I moved, obviously enough, but like I didn't move to a different apartment. I didn't just move to a different city or province. I moved to a completely different country. It's a pretty big deal, and you're just like, say what? Yeah. For quite a while now, my life was about moving to California, more specifically Los Angeles. So yeah, so if you think back, like look back to about about a year since my last videos on YouTube, um, I was making these videos with full intent of coming back into making more videos more frequently and stuff like that. I try to do that like every year, and it always fails for X and Y reasons. And it's nothing I can apologize for because it's just that's life. Um, but like I haven't abandoned any of this, right? It's just very slow, and I have to prioritize what's been going on with my life now. Like my life is different from way back in when I started in 2009. So yeah, like things are different, and we have to adjust to that. So I last year I was still had the intention of doing these things like more regularly. Although YouTube is making it a little difficult as a platform to to see comments and stuff like that. So the I, I don't want to say like the motivation has drained or waned, but it's getting a lot harder for me to communicate with people because notifications, I'm getting them, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like I'm clicking and it says I got like say 99 notifications, but they don't tell me what, they don't tell me where. I'm only getting like a few top comments, and that's it. And if I click on them, they don't really bring me to the video that it's linked about. So it's like it's to me as a management, trying to get feedback from you guys, and not just feedback, but just like, well, it is technically feedback, but like just like sharing stories of like what was your experience like playing Skyrim or Morrowind, you know, fighting a specific monster, that kind of thing, or oh gee, I wonder what Geek is going to do next, like that kind of thing. Like I don't have a hard time seeing those, and those were primarily my main motivation to keep going. So YouTube as a platform is has been very non-supportive, to say the least. But like I still wanted, despite the fact, I still wanted to continue making these um, because to tell you the truth, like I haven't played. Like the only times I ever allow myself to play like the Elder Scrolls game is while recording. And I really want to play Skyrim. I really want to play Morrowind, and I haven't been doing that for many reasons. And so yeah, like so go back a year, like less about last year, April. I was doing these Morrowind videos with the full intent of making more videos, and then I got an opportunity at work to transfer over to LA. So I accepted. So from about let's say June of last year or end of June or something like that, my life has pretty much been about moving to the United States. And boy, has it been a ride. But yeah, it's like I've been doing other things as well during my spare time. But essentially, that was my life, like trying to find an apartment, flying back and forth a couple of times, either to see family or to see like where I should work and how to commute and all that stuff, and actually doing the work while being there, and trying to socialize as well, meeting the locals, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's been pretty hectic. It's been pretty fun. It's very energizing. I mean, the sun is there. Oh, I was going to say 24/7. That's not true. Um, it has been cloudy as of late because winter. But and yeah, the sun is also like when it gets really dark, it's get really dark. So it's like and I don't have any light fixtures yet. So this is pretty much the only time I have spare time anyways that where I can just like record and there's light shining in my room. And because apparently Americans don't have any light fixtures at all in their bedrooms. And yes, I am recording from my bedroom, as opposed to the last setup where I was recording from my living room. And it's different from living by yourself. And now I'm actually living with roommates and stuff like that again. Although these walls are super thin, so I'm trying to find like proper times to do recording without like at this volume right now, which I feel like it's relatively low. This is like conversation low, like in terms of, like you should be like facing right across from a desk kind of thing, and we're just talking. You can hear me from across the hall, that kind of thing, like paper thin walls. Um, so trying not to disturb them and stuff like that with me shouting at game while gaming and stuff like that. So it's like you try to make do with what you got. So dealing with light, dealing with the whole volume thing. I'm still trying to manage that, like trying to figure out the logistics of it. Um, yeah, what else is there? Like I've been also, for those who don't know, I've been also working on a video game that's been going on since 2013. Basically, when I wasn't working at work and I wasn't doing Let's Play videos, I would work on this video game. And, you know, I chose one of the like most complicated projects to work on. That's me. And I'm getting there though, so it's like it's nothing that like I'm not biting too much. But in terms of timeline though, it is a lot to deal with because the project is still after 5 years of development, it's still not presentable yet. Although if you want to see some screenshots, you could always visit my blog. There's a link on my channel here somewhere. There's a button. And from there, you can see some screenshots of where I'm going. Well, although those screenshots are about 2 years old now, I think. And because most of the stuff that I've been working on um, throughout the year and last year is all about like the underbelly, like the engine part of it. Although I'm using Unity, like I have to make a lot of adjustments to it, how to handle data and how to handle like networking and stuff like that. So this year though has been a lot about AI and um, pathing and stuff like that. Anyways, like there's a lot of complicated stuff, and because of the unexpected move to California and because of many other technical aspects of while creating these video games, like I've been delayed more than a few times already. 2015 was probably like the most damaging delay ever because I had to rewrite from scratch my whole netcode, primarily because back then Unity changed infrastructure and how to deal with multiplayer and stuff like that. So everything that I've written before that, 2013 and 2014, although those were like the prototype periods, all of that had to be scrapped, and I had to like redo from scratch with a completely new method. Although the method is like way better than what it used to be. Um, I had to like reintegrate and pull back like so it took a full year to replace that system, and that created a lot of delays. And I'm talking delays and deadlines basically like I'm not under contract. I'm not doing this like there's no I'm not like on Kickstarter or anything like that. Those deadlines are basically like self-inflicted, because if you don't put deadlines on yourself, yeah, then you can't, like any other projects, you can't justify, or you can't tell like how you're doing it, like how well, or you can't plan ahead of like, this is not working, we should scrap this because it's been X amount of time since you've been working on it and it's not getting anywhere, kind of thing. Like, let's change the project, or let's change this aspect of it. Thankfully, I haven't done any of that, or changes and stuff like that. I've been doing more like iterations, like, okay, well, this code was just like placeholder. I need to change it now because this thing that I'm doing for AI relies on this code to be like spot on, right? So I've been changing a bunch of stuff, and doing all of that. I think I'm about 2 years to 3 years behind schedule, and that's hurting a lot of my own self-esteem a little bit. But at the same time, it's hurting because I want to get this thing out eventually, right? I want to play this and I want to show it to you guys as well. Um, I want as many people to be able to play it as possible. So it's like, I want to get this out of the door, and I don't want this to be a 15 plus development, even though it's most likely going to be that. Like, I was aiming for a 2020, uh, maybe not a 2020 release, but I was aiming for like a beta in 2020. And I'm talking like a legit beta, none of one of those early access bullshit, but I'm talking like a straight up, this is a beta, content complete. Let's fix the bugs. Let's find the bugs and let's fix the bugs. I was hoping to do that by 2020, but it looks like with how I got things delayed, now it's getting like more like, 23 kind of thing, which is like fair enough. And I'm saying all of these because it's kind of nerve wracking, because I'm looking at where I'm trying to go and where I'm aiming and where I'm at and the time it takes me to get there, and it's like, okay, I need to put more time to get it done. So lately, even though I've been doing all this like moving to California thing, and it's taking a huge portion of my life. And now I'm more or less settled, even though like this is a huge blank canvas behind me. Like, where's the boxes? They're all in that corner right there. You can't see them. You can sort of see like an orange glow coming from my closet, because yeah, that's where they put their light bulbs. It's in the closet, not in their room. But yeah, there's like an orangey glow. I don't know if you notice it, but like my boxes are there. um, like they're not going to be unpacked anyways, but they're there, and I'm not going to get rid of them because there's a lot of good, um, like mostly data. Like, there's a lot of documents and stuff, like projects on stuff like I'm working here, or like older projects and stuff like I want to keep those. But also because I'm thinking about moving out, to a different apartment after the end of the year. So it's like, I might as well just keep that there for now. If not, if after like a year or two I haven't moved, then I might unpack. Right. Anyways, that said, despite all of the thing with the moving, like, I've been kind of panicking, kind of putting more time working on game development because I want to get this thing done. So yeah, I haven't done a lot of playing. To be quite honest, like, I haven't done any video gaming in quite some time. I've been playing here and there, a couple of things. We'll talk about that later on. But mainly it's been doing like a 20 minutes here, maybe an hour there kind of thing. I haven't really legit played a video game in quite some time. And part of it, and forgive me if I'm renting, but part of it is games. The games that come out these days aren't. They're not like how I used to have them, right? So it's like, my God, are they horrible these days? And I'm talking horrible, not visually, because of course this is a spectacle to the eyes, and even like audio wise, some of these games are fantastic. And they feel so shallow to me when I'm looking at them and I'm playing them, and I'm like, oh, what's the game? What are you trying to do, and why are you doing it, and stuff like that. And people talk about like the cool things to do, right? So you're talking about maybe Anthem. You're talking about what else has been Apex Legends and all that stuff. And I'm just not. It's not my groove, right? The Division 2 or just the Division in general, like to me is like So there's a lot of games, and I'm using like these as the examples, but like they're like some of the worst examples I can pick. And by saying worse, I mean like some of the most uh, negative from the media. And I'm looking at them and I'm kind of like, I don't know what the situation is because I'm not playing these games, but like I'm looking at them and I'm like, what the heck? The whole Fallout 76 kind of thing. Like I've been looking at the industry since I got into making 3D art. Anyways, I'm a 3D artist, so it's like I've been looking from the inside and from the outside the industry, and like I'm not liking what I'm seeing. So I haven't really played that many games because I don't think there are that many great games to be played. Although there's a plethora of games out these days, and I guess some of the better ones are like in the indies. And nowadays, I'm more in the mindset like, why should I settle for something when I can just make my own? So I'm putting a lot of energy into that. Um, but yeah, and with it, like for those who don't know, like I have a Nintendo Switch, and I had it for, has it been 2 years now? I think it's been 2 years, and it kind of changed the way I play games. I still want to play specifically on PC or on my Mac, um, but I feel like I get more game time now on the Switch, and primarily because it's a mobile device. But I've been doing kind of like a half and half. We have access to a TV now, and everything's going cool. So I can just plug it in there, play a little bit of Dark Souls because I play Dark Souls. I think I live streamed it, like the start of my a new session, um, and then I continued it off like during lunchtime at work and stuff like that. So I could just bring it, play it. I've been playing also a lot of Super Smash Brothers. Simon is the best character ever. I'm a huge fan of Simon Belmont from Castlevania, and I'm playing a lot of Zelda, even though I've beaten it. I'm playing Zelda on Master Mode now, and some of my friends say like if they feel like that's the way the game was originally designed, or a lot of the games, like even like Skyward Sword, which I feel like is one of the worst Zelda games. So they're still like pretty high up on the hierarchy of like good games, but it's still one of the worst. I feel not the worst because I have another one, um, but the, yeah, like my friend's like one of his opinions is that he feels like they were specifically designed with master mode in mind or game plus, and then they kind of bring it down a notch for regular play. I don't know if it's like I mean, he's got some sense to that. Like, I don't know if it's because it's like for the dumb Americans kind of thing, or if it's just their philosophy because it feels like a lot of the systems they mesh better in hard mode or master mode, I should say. Um, Although I feel like in the case of the Breath of the Wild, um, I don't feel like the game ramps up very well, at least at the beginning in master mode, because your weapons are breaking. You can break like 3 weapons minimum per enemy, and you're limited in space, so you can only carry like a specific amount of weapons, and X amount of weapons will break per enemy. So you're really like I'm now. It's getting better because I went over the hump, so I'm getting to the point where I'm accumulating more weapons than I'm using them. but because I'm doing more headshots and stuff like that. So yes, of course, there is a mastery aspect to how to play the game, but I feel like at the earliest stage of the game, it's like your SOL, you got nothing, you got like a branch and maybe a pitchfork if you're lucky, and those are like super low in terms of damage output. And see if you can't see if you can kill a few enemies, even like the low level ones for like a master mode. And it feels like had they done master mode to just you know require me to dodge on time or do like the perfect parries or those super dodge moves where you can counterattack really quickly and without hindrance and stuff like that. Um, if it was designed with that in mind, I think it would have been better as a master mode. And yeah, you kind of need to do that, but your weapons break just as fast. Like it's not like you can conserve your weapons just by playing better. It just your weapons are going to break. So that's the part that I feel kind of on the negative side on Zelda. But other than that, like I feel like the game is fantastic. So I've been doing a lot of that too when I'm not dying constantly in Dark Souls. So those are primarily the games that I play these days on the Switch. I got tempted to buy Skyrim on the Switch because who wouldn't love an Elder Scrolls on the go, right? Although I have blades now, so it's like it's not exactly the same thing, but it's like all right, it's not a bad game. It's just it's got microtransactions, so good luck trying to progress. And I feel like you really have to play it to understand uh, the Elder Scrolls Blades. For those who don't know, the Elder Scrolls Blades is an Elder Scrolls game on the mobile platform, and it's like the brand new thing now. Everybody's talking about it, and it's like it looks gorgeous and stuff like that. But the microtransactions are kind of ruining it. It's like pay to win or kind of thing, and it's like yeah, it's true. It's not the worst I've ever seen in terms of microtransaction, but at the same time, just saying that doesn't mean that it's any good. Just because it's not the worst doesn't mean it's not bad, which is completely true. That's the kind of mindset that I'm constantly like for any game, right? Like, oh, Z targeting for Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is great. It's not that bad because you suck at aiming. I'm just like, yeah, but it's not great either. That kind of thing, right? So that's my mindset going in, even with Elder Scrolls Blades. Microtransactions pretty bad, but I feel like there are ways to accumulate equipment just by playing, but it's just very slow. And your power, like you can gain a lot of levels that will compensate for it. Because at like the main complaint is that at a certain point, enemies get so strong that you're out of quests, and without quests, you can't really get chests because you got to find the chests in the open world and stuff like that. And then when you complete chests, I think you get a silver chest. So you can find like wooden chests randomly in the world or in dungeons and stuff like that, and then you get silver chests that at least the way I understand is that you're awarded them per when you complete quests. And then there are chests like gold chests and stuff like were probably pretty rare. And I think those I guess you buy them online and stuff like that. And I think the worst offender is that these chests have a timer on it. And like if you have a wooden chest, it's like it takes 5 seconds to open. And I thought I was kind of just let me open it, right? You click on it, and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it opens, and then you see all your shit. Um, it's like really, like, but then you click on the silver chest, and it's like 5 hours. You're like, oh my god, you seriously? And you, of course, you can spend premium currency to skip all that, but you're playing from a perspective like what if you were playing for free because screw microtransactions. I have no problem paying for a like 20 $15 $30 for a mobile game uh, upfront, right? You're trying to nickel and dime me, you don't put your money in my game because then I just don't play it. if I'm forced to do that. Like right now, I'm kind of easing into Blades. I'm trying to play it with. Well, I'm not going to play it without. I'm not going to play it with money involved. That's the end of the story. But right now, I'm trying to play as far as I can go and see where that'll get me without the microtransactions. And to be fair, it's not that bad. Like of course, it's on mobile. Like I'm not playing like 15 hours on mobile, right? So I can open like two silver chests a day. Like I play like in the morning, and I play another match during the night. And I feel like once you're done with your quests and the game is too hard now for you to complete them, because you got to pay money. Then you got to go through the abyss, and the abyss is like a never-ending dungeon that increases in difficulty. And what I noticed is you can select your floors. So I've been doing more of these than actual questing. I feel like because it's like I know that there's a limited amount of quests in the game, so I'd rather do. I'm more of a procedural kind of guy, or like a random roguelike kind of player. So like a Diablo, like you just do the same dungeon. Doesn't matter, it's different. So I go through the abyss, and I don't know if the dungeons are randomized, but they feel different every time I play them. So that's good enough, I guess. But I guess I haven't played them too much to notice a pattern or to notice like, hey, they just shuffle through the same 5 dungeons all over again. I don't know, but I go through the abyss and everything's fine. Like everything seems to still be a good game. I think my biggest gripes is the fact that in the dungeons you can't find equipment. You got to find the chests, and then you got to do the whole microtransaction things in order to open the chests and to find them. Because you can buy stuff on the by blacksmith, but his stuff is crap. Of course. And yeah, I'm okay with the blacksmith being useless. Although, like, why have it in game if he's useless? I guess to repair, but even then, it's like just trying to get new items, new upgrades, because you're almost outpacing the game itself in terms of like your power level with the what it gives you in terms of equipment. And also, like when you open a chest, you get more like crafting materials. And I'm like, what the heck is all that for? Like, I'm not a crafter to begin with, but like, I don't think you can even craft weapons. So it's all about like building your city kind of thing. So I was like, I don't care about wood. I don't care about salt. Just get me a cool sword or a spell, or actually spells. It's a different thing. But anyways, so those are the games that I'm playing now. Although Blades is a game that I've only been playing for about a couple of days now because I got access to it. Because they're opening early access to people like drip feeding, and I eventually got into the list, so now I can play, and I've been playing a couple of times a day here and there, and I'm enjoying it myself. So combat's pretty good. I love playing on portrait mode. A lot of people go landscape, but it's like when I play mobile, I'm playing with one hand, so it's like really cool to be able to just block and attack and cast spells. And there's a lot of tapping involved, though, which I feel like if you're going to tap to move, then the camera should rotate accordingly. And it's not doing it enough for me to. You gotta like scroll around with your thumb to rotate and look around. And it gave a lot of. I thought it was going to be more like Infinity Blade, I think it was called. Like it's like a on rails dungeon crawler kind of thing. I thought it was going to be like that, and it's not. It's you actually have more freedom while in dungeons to move around and not do much, like in terms of interaction with the items and stuff like that. But you can still move around and stuff like that. So I kind of like it. Um, we'll see long term though. Anyways, so those are the things that are on my list of things I wanted to talk about. Um, Eventually I want to get back into playing Skyrim, like the actual Elder Scrolls games and Morrowind and stuff like that, and go get those done, not for the sake of saying like I got them done, but I want to get back into it because I guess those are the games that I really care for, and they haven't done any of those games, those type of games, recently. Like even if you consider stuff like The Witcher 3, which is like a highly acclaimed game and looks great and it plays well. Like the story is like top notch for the 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 little that I've experienced so far with The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3. I feel like the way the games are structured and they're not my style, so I can't necessarily get into them. But there's no Dragon Age Origins. There's no Elder Scrolls for God knows how long. I mean, the new one's, it's been announced, so yay for that. We'll see. Um, Although Bethesda's going kind of weird in terms of behavior lately, so they're on damage control for a lot of reasons. So we'll see about that. But yeah, like I feel like these days there's not that many games to really sink your teeth into. Um, Playing Monster Hunter World here and there, a couple of missions here and there. Still play Sea of Thieves, but again, it's like maybe 20 minutes to an hour tops here and there. Maybe once a month, that kind of thing. It's a very like casual. Um yeah, I feel like I'm more of a casual gamer now than I've ever were, which is I guess I'm just getting old. I don't know. It's like gaming is still in my mind. Like I'm not bogged down by responsibility or wife and kids and stuff like that. Like there's none of that. I just feel like there's not really cool games to play, even though there's still some good ones out there. I guess I'm more picky than the average gamer. I don't know, but to come from a background where I've been playing Diablo, and that was the game that turned me into a gamer, and you know really get into like playing like every day for hours and hours nonstop, and during the weekends you would just pour your heart into it and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore, and I kind of miss it. But I need a reason to do that, and that so far I haven't found. I thought that maybe like MMOs would do that, like World of Warcraft certainly did for quite some time. So I'm kind of waiting for Classic, because that was back when the game was good. Should probably try Final Fantasy 14. I haven't played that in quite some time, but I don't know. I feel like these days I'd just rather make on my own. So yeah, make my own game and see how that goes. And I'll m- most definitely give you updates on that when it's get presentable and where I can show you video footage, not just a screenshot, but a video footage of like this is what the game can do and this is how you can do it or whatever. And I'm getting there. I was hoping that 2019 was going to be the year where I could actually show you guys stuff. It is not the case. At best, it'll be like by the end of the year, but I'm thinking um, there's a lot of systems that need to get through in order for it to be presentable, or at least to show you guys what I intend to do. And considering that I'm also involved in doing the animation stuff like that, because I gotta aid when it comes to creating the assets. So um, right now we're working long distance, so my buddy's still in Canada and he's working on the game art. Build me a tree or build me a fence or that kind of thing. Build me a goblin, and then I put it in the game, and it's like it's all wrong. Can you fix the ears, or can you do that, or the fence needs to be bigger, that kind of thing. So we go back and forth on assets. Right now, all the assets that he's building are all like prototypes, so it's not even like I would show you guys, but it's like it's nowhere near final. Even the textures are bad because it's just like we just put textures in just to know that the engine is taking memory, allocating memory for that asset, so that we don't get surprised later on saying, "Oh, we added a texture to the fence, and now it's like computer's going at 2 frames a second. Why is that? Well, we didn't account for it." No, we prototype or we build the game with those systems in mind or with the allocation necessary to do that. So it's like placeholder still though, because we're going back and forth all the time. You don't want to get a final every single time. And with the characters, I have to rig them, do animations for them, and it's like, and I haven't even started doing that yet because I'm still just working on AI and getting that thing to work. So um, really interesting stuff. So I can't. I'm actually excited to show you guys that. But yeah. So uh, what's happening in the future? Well, aside from the game, like I'm still hoping to get some Skyrim. Hopefully, maybe if the sun will hold, I might be able actually to play. Um, and yeah, it's like if not, like maybe tomorrow. Like I'm gonna try to do Skyrim's next, by the way. So I'm gonna try to do some Skyrim soon. Um, Hopefully not a blizzard soon, like a short term soon, so that we can get the ball rolling. I just don't know like how the timing works with like the sound, like the thin walls and stuff like that. I don't want to disturb anyone while recording, and at the same time, I don't want any other outside source to distract me while I'm recording and all that stuff. Um, I thought about doing some more live stream, but I feel like I'm stealing myself or the time to actually do Skyrim videos or Morrowind videos when I'm live streaming. It's more relaxed. There's no format necessarily. I can just play whatever and chat with people. But I feel like all the time that I'm doing that, I'm not doing, Elder Scrolls. So even I feel like I'd rather do Elder Scrolls, even though, I don't know. So, and I don't want to turn Elder Scrolls into like a full live stream kind of thing either, because then like the formats change too much for my taste. Like I want to keep things as consistent as possible so that you're on YouTube, you get all the Elder Scroll stuff. So I'll figure something out. But yeah, definitely like streaming has been way easier these days. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of YouTubers go live streams now, because it's just simpler that way. You don't have to deal with the YouTube. You just hit record or stream, and people can join in, and they watch you more or less live. So it's like that's cool. But we'll figure something out. Just to say, guys, I'm still alive, still very active, just not in the sense that you guys want necessarily. And I'm trying to rectify at least the Skyrim is not, or the Elder Scrolls is not supposed to be a 6 month ordeal, right? It's supposed to be. It used to be like a once every. Like I used to record like every day, multiple episodes and stuff like that. And I don't even do that now. And I say multiple episodes, like multiple sessions every day. So I would have like a huge backlog, and every day you would have at least a video, and it's not even the case anymore. And now it got into like a 6 month thing, and lately it's like last time I uploaded a video was like a year. So it's like this is ridiculous. So I'm trying to fix that, and that's the best I could do. I'm not going to try to apologize for it. I'm not expecting you to. Um, I expect you guys to understand at least. I don't think you guys are the type of people that will just get angry about this. Probably you guys would probably be pissed like you should have said so earlier, like kind of thing. Like why get absent? Like I legitimately tried to get some time to record, and you'd think like these things shouldn't take too long to hit record and send a message, but I've been recording for like 40 minutes already. So it's like you need to take the time to do it right, and I haven't found the time. I think the first attempt was uh, like in December, and I just couldn't do it. Lighting was like you couldn't see my face, so what was the point of doing a one-on-one video like this without having proper lighting and without having some, roommate coming in and talking about, ordering a sofa for the living room. So it's like that kind of thing, right? So it's like I'm not necessarily back full force, but I'm here now. Um, ways to contact me. I feel like it's always easier to get on Reddit. I'm trying to remember my username. I think it's like Gix underscore um, G 17. Yeah. And I also have a Twitter, which is like brand new. I started this like when I was when I knew that I was going to go to LA. I figured maybe I should do like a Twitter so that at least people would be notified of what I'm doing and stuff like that on a more like timely without doing a full blog, because I feel like blogs I do like a dissertation on how I feel about things as opposed to, and even when I do videos, geez man, it's like 40 minutes already. So it's like I can't do quick thoughts, but I figured like with Twitter you can't do more than like you can't do, I think it's like 100 or 140 or 240 something like characters. So um, back in like last year, I created an account, and Twitter is stupid because they say, well, we need to verify your account. And I'm like, I just created this account. And actually, I think my account got suspended, but I didn't do anything because it was already like pre suspension while creating the account. It was just stupid. Um, but like lately, I noticed that I think I had like a page on my browser that was on the Twitter. I was still there trying to set it up, but it's like I had ignored it for months. And at one point, my computer kind of refreshed it, and it's like, "Hey, you're allowed now." So it's like, "Oh, I have an account and it's active." So I tweeted a couple of things. It's nothing major, but yeah, you can also reach me on Twitter. They should pop up on my phone, so I'm getting directly access to that. I think those are the best ways. I think the username for that is at G17Gix. This one's backwards because I don't think the other one was available. I think somebody else is using the Gix G17 on Twitter. So, you know, if it doesn't sound legit, or if it doesn't sound like something I would say, chances are it's not me. Actually, I would tell you, like, if it's not coming straight from this video, chances are it's not me. Like, unless it's um, like I just told you my Reddit username and my Twitter username, so it's like it's those are legit, right? Anyone even on YouTube that tells you like, oh, I think Gix is dead or he's having surgery or whatever, like don't even if they claim they're my cousin or twice removed or whatever, like don't even consider that to be remotely true until ooh, until I come out and say it, right? So um, yeah, I mean, if you guys are still subscribed, you'll know when the next video. Hopefully, if YouTube doesn't screw it up, you'll know when the next time I'll upload a video, and then we can have some fun again. All right, all right. See you next time.